Hey you, welcome back to the channel. It's Chris here. And I was going through this introspection today, and maybe you were too. And I wanted to create this video because after a phone call that I had with somebody who I was seeking answers from, he created a lot of clarity and he said, I think a lot of people are going through a really tough time right now. And I think we're in the middle of a recession and a lot of people don't know what to do. But essentially, and what he didn't say was, and this is what I want to share with you, is I think we're going through this tough time right now, and it's not about feeling like you have the clarity and the vision of where you're going. It's just trusting the freaking process and doing what lights you up, even though results might not be coming in, because that's what faith is, and seeing where it leads you. And here's the first thought I want to share with you just to really anchor this in. And tell me what you think in the comments below is like, how did you get to where you're at right now and what you're doing? And by that, I mean, for instance, like personally, I left nursing and became a content creator because I took a travel contract, bought a drone, and then was like, this is it. I love it. Like, and and now I'm actually in that same spot where I'm like, ooh, making content isn't quite the feeling what it was. And I'm trying to find that thing that is that new thing, but I haven't found it yet. But what I've been doing is endlessly just chasing the stuff I love, adventure travel, trying to build an online community and doing a bunch of just stuff that makes me feel really uncomfortable. And something that I've learned that I want to share with you, and like, please send it back in the comments as well, is like, what have you been doing lately that has made you so uncomfortable? And for instance, for me, it's number one, building an online community. I've tried this twice and it failed, and this time I'm gonna get it. I don't think I'm gonna get it. I'm going to get it. The second thing is like I've started like building landing pages, which I've never actually done, because in order to build an online community, what you have to do is like build landing pages. I'm making waiting lists. I'm doing email marketing, and I'm doing all this on the smallest budget I've ever built anything on, which makes it so much harder. And I'm having to be so much more resourceful. But and even to this, if you're somebody watching this and you're like, why are you telling me this? Because this has created so many skills in my tool belt. And the cool thing is the community that I'm building is really anchored at people who might not have the money. Like time and money were the two biggest pain points on stuff that I researched. So that I'm like, the blessing of it is like I'm having to build this thing with nothing. And if I can build it with nothing, then I can coach somebody who has a little bit more than I did. And that's like a true blessing. But going through the process, I'm like, what am I doing? Are we doing the right thing? Is this aligned? Is this not aligned? Are we just wasting time and energy while we're bored and have nothing to do instead of resting? Like those are all the thoughts that are endlessly in my head. And then it's like, I have to stop. I have to come back to reality. And I'm like, no, that's not it. It's not it. That's what you might be trying to fool yourself into believing. But what's really happening is like you're building something meaningful. You're building something that's going to last. And here's a really cool one too. If you're somebody who needs instant gratification, cut that out, because something that I've seen in a lot of businesses and trends is like, look at CBD, right? Like it just shot up out of nowhere and it died out of nowhere. And if you think about that in your own personal business and stuff too, is like things that take off really quickly die really quickly. Things that take a while to build and hit success with, those are called legacies. Those are brands that stick around. And even if you look at some of the top brands like let's say McDonald's, like that was started at around age 40, 45. Amazon, Jeff Bezos, around 40, 45. KFC, Colonel Sanders, around 50, I think. Like all these giant brands that have withstood the test of time and are massive. Man, validation right there. They took a while to build. And if you're somebody who is having a hard time finding what your thing is, you might just be learning the skills as you go. And you can't identify within this moment, I'm doing this. And, it's not a part of the bigger journey overall. It's a part of the process to learn a skill to get you to the next spot. And you're continually stacking those skills. And even though you're viewing them as failures, they're really just experiments that you're essentially grabbing what you need from and leaving what isn't for you. And before you know it, you put 10 of those experiences together and 10 of those failures, and you give yourself a little time and you can just pour some gasoline on it and you're like, whoa, like it's built. But the coolest thing is if you're delayed on this area, like, and you're going through these processes now, like that is what creates something that lasts a lifetime, because when a problem hits, you have the resources. When something happens that's unplanned, you have the resources, and you have the network and you have all the resources. So whoever's watching this video and whatever you're going through, just remember this, like what you're going through right now doesn't define who you are as a person, but how you react to it and how you I think is how you react to it is truly shows who you are as a person. So if you think about this, if the cards aren't in your favor, you're playing Texas Hold'em and you got the crummiest cards in your hand versus the river, you still got a poker face, and you can still fool everybody at that table based on your mannerisms, how you handle yourself, how you handle your emotions, and they have no idea what cards you have in your hand, whether you show them or not at the end. But it's just about being that person that you want to be and thinking about who that person is and how in this moment, with not having any of the pieces that you need in your hand, how can you be that person? What would that person do if they had this hand? And that's what I think you're being tested on. I think in the next couple of days, we're going to see this really shift, and you're going to start to become that person that you've been playing that hand with. Because even though you haven't had those cards, you're still becoming that person. It just might not be obvious right now, and you got a couple more tests to go through. But once you get through those tests, you're going to be like, dang, how did I get here? Going back to the beginning of the video, like, how did I get here? And it's going to be like in the process, they say you never know what's going on until you get out of it, and you don't realize how deep you really were in it until you're out of it as well. But once you're out of it, you're going to be amazed at, I think, the person you are, who you've become, how resourceful you are, and what resources you have to build upon. Because, if you're anything like me in this moment right now, like, all we need is a little bit of luck and something to do that, and we have everything else. Because it's been the longest, slowest, hardest, I think 5, 6, 7, 8 months. I mean, it's been so long in my life, but I think the beauty is going to come from it, because I've never been in a stretch this long with this much work, this much effort, and not seeing results. But I think the results are about to come, because I think, if you're anything like me in this moment right now, I think the one thing you've been tested on is faith, consistency, and devotion to your purpose. And I don't think everybody passes that test the first time around. I know I definitely didn't, but I think this time I'm passing the test with flying colors. I'm ready to reap the rewards. And if you are too, go ahead and hit like. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't. And you know what? Have a great freaking day. Peace out.